what is latitude? We have already discussed. Is a line which is parallel to the equator is called a latitude, because equator itself is the latitude, is the biggest circle, isn't it? And the other circles are the small circle, they are called latitude also. Okay, so that means all the latitude except the equators are small circle. We move from 0° equator towards the north or towards the south, we are 0 degrees 01 minutes also is a small circle. Okay, in fact 0 degrees 00 minute and 01 second also is a small circle. Okay, the reason being, if I take a circle which is like the earth here, correct? So this is the equator, both north or south, we can write it that way, but if we write only 0° it's acceptable. Okay? So that means the center of the earth is somewhere here, from where I have taken this radius and this radius the same to draw a circle, right? But if I go a little bit height, I'll exaggerate here, isn't it? I go higher, the radius is not the same, because the center is not the same of my circle, isn't it? Because all along this line, all the line parallel are decreasing in size. That's why we come to the great circle. If I have to fly, let's say a point here and a point here, if I go rum line, my track will be something like this, isn't it? In this direction. My great circle will be something like this. So this distance is smaller than this distance. So that's why we have learned that great circle is always the shortest distance. It looks big on map, it is not, because the maps and charts are done in such a methodical way that it is not representing the right perspective. Okay, we'll come to the chart and maps and we'll learn that also. So therefore this is not possible. So this is equator, this is a small circle which is called the parallel of latitude. Parallel of latitude is the same thing, parallel of latitude. Angrez people have then done this their own way, isn't it? So parallel, why? Because it's parallel to the equator. That's why we call it parallel. And it's called latitude because it is a stacking between the equator and the pole. So pole is the last latitude we can have as 90 degrees, north or south, isn't it? So we don't have more than 90 degrees of latitude. We have 180 degrees of longitude. Okay, so I will explain you the longitude also here. So longitude, we look at the circle. So this is the center of the earth. I stand from here, this is my prime meridian, which is 0 degrees longitude. Any line which goes from the North Pole towards the South Pole is called the longitude. So this is the longitude. So the line here is 180 degrees. So we cannot have more than 180 degrees of longitude. Okay. This side is east, this side is west. Like we had the north in the latitude and south, In longitude we have east and west. So all the 4 directions are taken care of. I'll explain you the direction next after that. Okay, so first we will write the definition of longitude and latitude. Okay, so often called parallels or circles of latitude are the imaginary. All lines on the earth are imaginary. Tropic of Cancer pass through India. Have you seen anywhere? कि ये भाई ये लाइन है लक्ष्मण रेखा. Have you seen that? Nowhere, isn't it? Yes, there are places in Chhattisgarh which passes Chhattisgarh. In Rajasthan, they have board says Tropic of Cancer passes here. Okay? That's because people are living there. But elsewhere, we don't know. Half of Africa, where equator passes, is desertic. So, nobody lives there, so nobody is much. But where the people are living, like in Kenya and Mombasa, where they basically have tourists coming in. So, you have the equator one side, north side, south side. You stand here and put a bucket of water, water flows down. Why? Because there is no pressure at equator. You step 1 foot this side and do the same thing, water rotates anti-clockwise because it's a low pressure. Just 1 step. You go 1 step this side of the line, rotate clockwise because in the southern hemisphere low pressure is clockwise. Here high pressure is clockwise, here low pressure is clockwise. So that's the difference. And this is a tourist attraction. People who don't know, they go and visit that place. Okay? So these are all imaginary lines where we define the hemisphere. Northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, eastern longitude and western longitude, isn't it? Okay. So latitude specify the north-south position on the globe, which we saw it, correct? Equator represents 0 degrees latitude, we know about now, while the north-south pole represents 90 degrees. As I said, we cannot have 90.01, not possible. Okay. So south, 90 degrees south, and there are 4 major latitudes which we need to know mentally. 2 we have already discussed, 2 tropics, 1 Tropic of Cancer, 1 Tropic of Capricorn. Tropic of Cancer is in the northern hemisphere, Capricorn is in the southern hemisphere. Both are located at 23.5 degree, okay, north and south. The other 2 lines which are of importance to us, one is at Arctic Circle, which is 66.5 degree north, and the other one is 66.5 degrees south, which is Antarctica Circle. Which means that this circle, why we have the importance of these 2 circles is because the sun does not have any rays on them. Okay, so this is where the Arctic Circle is 66.5 degree north and Antarctica Circle 66.5 degree south. Okay. So the sun rays which are coming are not reaching the north part because we have the earth here we shown straight, actually we are inclined by 23.5 degree. That's Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn are basically the main part which is giving me that inclination of 23.5 degree. That's why this is at 23.5. And 23.5 degrees south. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I would say 5 also, the equator, isn't it? Okay. So all of them will be important to us. Meridians are important, latitudes are important. So it's not only the 4 parallel of latitude, but among the parallel of latitude, those latitudes are more important to us. Okay? Right? So seen from the north, we have the Arctic Circle, which you can see the Arctic Circle. There are still people living here and there. Huh? You see this location, these are people living there. And why we call this as 66.5 degree is basically one about this area up to the North Pole, isn't it? All those circular area don't get sunlight for few days in a year. Okay, we call it Arctic night, perpetual night. So for few days, like now, December, last few days of December and beginning of November, about 12 to 15 days, it's dark. No sunrise, no sunset. Okay, we will see that in Air Almanac. I'll show you how to get that, because there are some symbols which you will need to know in Air Almanac how it is represented, because you will have question on that. Okay, so here there is no sunlight during few days, so it's a 24 hours night. Okay, so that's the Arctic Circle. Same thing happens in the south, in the Antarctica Circle also. Okay, the same thing. There are much less people living, isn't it? Because there are few resources where countries are fighting to get hands on there. Never mind. Okay, so this is the same 66.5 degrees. Okay, so we have 90 degree east longitude, 0 degrees prime meridian. See, it came all the way from North Pole to South Pole, 90 degrees west. You can visualize now the situation of longitude and latitude. Okay. These circles are latitude, these lines are longitude. So standing and slipping line, as we came to. So these are the standing line, these are the slipping line. Okay. So it says also midnight sun. So during summer, there is no night. Few days, because of the tilt of the world, of the earth, the sun rays remain constantly on top, isn't it? So in that time, it is a midnight in the southern hemisphere. So now we are getting into midnight right now, because 21st December, what have we written yesterday about 21st December? वो same day you must rectify it. What did you write yesterday about 21st December? We had written it. Next week. We are 17th. 4 days next after that. What will be that? Solstice. It's solstice. It will be the solstice. Longest night, shortest day. Longest night, shortest day on the 21st of December. So 22nd we'll get a plate. We'll sleep more. Okay. So that is the longest night and shortest day. Whereas in the southern hemisphere, it will be longest day and shortest night. Okay. Because they will have the sun. The sun will be over the Tropic of Capricorn at that time, isn't it? And then it will start traveling upward towards the equator after that. Where will it reach? What date will it reach equator? The sun will reach equator when? March 21st. From December 21st to March 21st, it will take 3 months to the sun to be overhead the equator, which is known as, for the northern hemisphere, we call it spring or vernal equinox, isn't it? And for the southern hemisphere, it will be autumn equinox. Mirror image, isn't it? So it will be autumn for them. For us, it will be spring. And then the sun will continue traveling upward till 21st of June, which will be the longest day for northern hemisphere and shortest night, and shortest day and the longest the longest night in the southern hemisphere and the shortest day, isn't it? Ulta ho jayega. So this is how it is. So latitude we have seen 23, actual number is 23 degrees 26 minutes, we round it off, 23 and a half is acceptable. Okay, so this is what midnight sun, as I said, also known as polar day or polar night. Okay.